For the second movie I saw this week that was phenomenally better than Legend of Tarzan, Lights Out. So this film is partially based off the short film Lights Out, directed by the same guy, by the name of David F. Sandberg. Thanks, IMDb. And this was a solid horror film in a day and age where we don't get a whole lot of good horror films. This was good. This was solid. This was a decent flick. This was a fun 75 minutes of a horror film. It was solid. This movie has a decent cast that's composed of Teresa Palmer, Gabriel Bateman, who I hope to God isn't related to Patrick Bateman, Alexander de Persia? Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. You were good though, dude. And Maria Bello. It's based around this family that is being haunted by this ghost that only appears when the lights are out, and that's your 75 minutes. This girl, played by Teresa Palmer, has a little half-brother, a half-brother, who's living with their mentally ill mother, played by Maria Bello. And apparently she's been having a lot of issues since the boy's father passed away. And so that actually gives a lot of surprising weight to this movie. The dynamic between the boy, played by Gabriel Bateman, and Maria Bello and Teresa Palmer, those three, it's because it has a lot to do with family and leaving loved ones behind, and losing loved ones. It brought an interesting approach to this family that, for the most part, in most horror movies, I would not see. I mean, granted, I've seen similar aspects of this done before in a much, much better horror movie called The Babadook. But in terms of this movie, it still works. It's still interesting, and it still brought this movie a surprising amount of heart that I wasn't expecting, that I really liked, and it gave these actors really solid material to work off of, and gave a legitimately good performance that I don't see a lot of in horror movies, especially today. I would expect to see this work material, honestly, in a drama, in a legitimate, like, tug at your heartstrings sort of dramatic film. But it's done in this horror movie, so I found that kind of refreshing. I actually really liked that. It made me really care about these characters, and I wanted to know more about them. I wanted to see how things were going to pan out. I wanted to see what was going to happen with these people, and I was hoping that everything was going to be okay with them, which is 100 times more than I could ever say for Legend of freaking Tarzan. I digress. This is a really solid, smartly written, entertaining horror film. If you've seen the trailers, it gives way too much away. I'm getting tired of that shit that it's giving that trailers nowadays are giving so much away, but at least I can say it didn't ruin the film for me, because some things, yeah, I could kind of see coming anyways, but even when I only knew that things were going to happen because of the trailer, I was still enjoying myself. I was still invested in these characters. I was even invested in the boyfriend character, which in most, if not every single horror movie is there to die. The side boyfriend, girlfriend that is there to support the lead, and you know they're probably gonna be sacrificed or some shit. This guy is a saint to this girl who is just kind of treating him like shit. This was fun. This wasn't the best horror movie I've seen all year, but you know what? I don't need every horror movie to be great. I don't need every movie to be The Conjuring or The Conjuring 2. I don't need them to be The Babadook. Sometimes I just want to kill an hour and 15 minutes and have a really solid, decent, good time. Sometimes you just need a grilled cheese sandwich. This is the grilled cheese sandwich of horror movies. It's good. It'll get you by. And in terms of the actual ghost itself, this is an actually effective ghost. It has some creepy moments to it. It's not just the generic, type, fucking bending its fucking skeletal structure shit or anything like that. It's a very dark figure that has fucking glowing eyes at one point. That it works. It's honestly an effective, creepy looking ghost. I mean, it's not the most unique or original look for a ghost, and it's not even the scariest, creepiest fucking ghost I've seen this year. But it's still effective. And this is miles above movies like The Other Side of the Door and The Darkness and what else did I see this year? The Forest. That was also a piece of shit. The Cabin Fever remake. I mean, this was not a great year for horror movies. In terms of actual good horror movies from this year, we got The Conjuring 2, Before I Wake, which was pretty good. That was a solid flick. I'd recommend the shit out of that. Darling was a great throwback film to movies that were made in like the late 60s by Roman Polanski. That was great. In terms of like horror movies, rating them, where would this fall? In terms of the good ones, Conjuring 2, Darling, Before I Wake, and then Lights Out. That's how I would probably rate it. So far, I mean, we still have a few months left before the year is up, so that list can totally change. I don't fucking know, but yeah, I still recommend this. If you haven't seen it in theaters, I'd say it's worth checking out in the theater, or I probably would have caught this at 2 a.m. Fucking flipping through Netflix saying, you know what, here we go, I haven't seen this yet, click, so yeah, check it out if you're looking for a good, decent horror film that isn't The Other Side of the fucking Door. If you're sick and tired of jump scares, this does have jump scares in it, but at least none of them are false jump scares like, cat, or the the scene is getting quiet, and then, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, are they in danger? Turn around corner. Ah, my boyfriend! It doesn't do that. Never. When there's a jump scare in the movie, it is always done by something that is actually going to present a sense of danger to these characters. And that helps me get invested in them because I do feel like they are in danger. I don't feel like the movie's just trying to fuck with me for 90 minutes, you know? So, yeah, if you're looking for a good time, check out the local horror house and then watch Lights Out. Bye.
Look who's here, there's the boy I'm mad about. Oh my dear.